the 2025 Wall of Fame recipient.
I've been really fortunate throughout my career to have people who would spend time mentoring me, whether it was a Ralph Regula connection, Stan Galt, Stan Welty, Mike Reardon. They're just the list of folks who have taken time to mentor me. It's really humbling. As I think about that, I think, okay, how can you pass that forward? I grew up in a typical rural upbringing, baled hay and played football, wrestled, did 4-H. I ended up going to Mount Union College. I played football, but I mostly watched a lot of football. But it was a great opportunity to be on a winning team. And really what that taught me was the foundation of winning, right? So I was living in Pittsburgh, and my boss called me one night and said, Steve, I'd like you to go out on a blind date with my kid's swim coach. And that was when Chris and I met. On the second date, I couched it as an interview, and I invited her out, and I asked her a bunch of questions about children, finance, all the things. And we were engaged within 3 months and married within 8 months. And from there, that was my first and most important partnership that I ever formed. So we were working in New York. We kept hearing about this Rubbermaid company and this guy that led it, Stan Galt, who was just a phenomenal marketer. I kind of filed that away because I thought, boy, it might be good to get back to Northeast Ohio someday. And I contacted Rubbermaid, kind of a blind call, and interviewed and got a job with Rubbermaid that brought me back to their headquarters. After Stan Galt retired, Rubbermaid shifted a little bit. There's no secret about that. And Chris just kept telling me that I'm kind of miserable to be around, and that she's not leaving Worcester, and I better figure out something else to do in Worcester that I can be happy. At that point, I made a blind call to Worcester Brush. So I talked to Stan Welty and ended up going to work for Worcester Brush. It really provided me the opportunity for the first time to be involved in the community.
There were several of us that were involved with the Wayne Economic Development Council in terms of creating a strategic plan. However, we didn't have the leadership to implement the plan effectively. Several of us invited Steve to come to this conference room and talk to him about that leadership role. Steve came thinking he was just going to get some information about the council. Little did he know that we were going to draft him as the chairman of the Wayne Economic Development Board. Steve didn't hesitate. He took over that role and did an excellent job of changing the leadership.
After a few years at Worcester Brush, and we did some really good work there, I was able to introduce Worcester Brush to Home Depot. At that point, I got a call from John Ansel. He said, hey, we have a company in Orville that's having a few struggles. Would you be interested in coming over and helping us get this thing moving? And I had to do a lot of soul searching because I love Worcester Brush, but I did have an itch to do something different and really help a company that was struggling, to see if I had the chops to do it, quite frankly.
In 2000, while serving on the Wilbert Board of Directors, we made the decision to hire Steve as our Vice President General Manager of Sales.
And so I went to Wilbert, and we had a tremendous run. And really the run was all about people. I'm at Wilbert, I'm happy, I'm involved in the community, and I came across Chris Schmid. And Chris and I became very close friends. And one night he said, I'm part of a group that owns Worcester Hydrostatics. We need to find a general manager. Do you have anybody that you know that might fit that bill? And I kind of offhandedly said, I don't, but I'll just buy it from you guys. And about a week later, I'd kind of forgotten about the conversation, and my phone rang at Wilbert, and it was Gladys, Stan's assistant. And she said, Steve, Stan would like to see you next Tuesday at 10 o'clock. And I kind of rolled my eyes and thought, oh no, he saw that I didn't give enough to United Way. I wasn't sure exactly what he wanted. But I walk into Stan's office that Tuesday, and he stands up and he says, you're buying Worcester Hydrostatics, that's great news. You're going to do a great job with it.
I had been here for quite a while when Steve got involved in the company. We had some really tough years before he came. I pretty much had my mind set up that I was leaving. He asked me to give him 6 months. And so here we are, 19 years later. We kind of have a little bit of it's kind of an inside joke, but when he has to have hard conversations with you, there are times where you leave and you're like, did I get my butt chewed?
So my path in Worcester also intersected me with nonprofits. And I was fortunate enough to become the chair of the Wayne County Community Foundation and work with Sally Patton.
The 8.5 years that we worked together at Wayne County Community Foundation showed me truly effective leadership in action. During your time as president of the Board of Trustees, the assets of the foundation more than doubled and community and volunteer involvement measurably increased.
It's really humbling, created some anxiety for me to be nominated for the Wall of Fame. I don't, sometimes I don't feel worthy, but at the same time, I'm just so proud to even be considered for it. Clearly, I wouldn't be here without Chris and the support of the family. Thank you to the Chamber of Commerce. Thank you to the community, because without the community that we've got and the strength we've got in this community, we wouldn't have a night like tonight.
And I would like to say congratulations to you, Steve, for the honor tonight of the Wall of Fame.
You're a powerful reminder of another name on the chamber wall, that of Stan Galt. Like him, you set and achieve ambitious goals in ways that benefit the entire community. Congratulations.
Steve Matthew is absolutely the real deal in every sense of the term. We're lucky to have him and his family in our community, and now on the prestigious Wall of Fame.
Steve, congratulations on being this year's recipient of the Wall of Fame.
Congratulations, Steve Matthew.